Good evening and welcome to the 9 p.m. news telecast of the prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Centenary Perahara.
And I'm Centenary. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
3 killed and 31 injured in a bus accident near Dunhinda Falls in Badulla. Road to Renaissance project to develop 1,000 rural roads gets underway. A special parliament meeting on the 30th of this month. The police says social media carries false news items regarding the fine on drunken driving. Iran says no talks on nuclear program until Israel stops attacks. The visa period of Sri Lankan workers in Israel extended by 3 months. The Asian Development Bank fully supports new educational reforms. Disbursement of services of the Presidential Fund on the Divisional Secretariat Division level begins from Kilinochchi.
Let's take a look at those stories and more in detail. 3 people were killed and 31 others injured in a bus accident that occurred today near Dunhinda Falls in Timbrigas Pitiya on the Badulla Mahayangania road. Our correspondent says that the ill-fated private bus met with an accident while returning to Anuradhapura carrying a group of pilgrims who visited the Mahamewwa Asapua in Kimbulwela, Badulla. The 3 deceased were 2 women and a male. 27 injured persons are undergoing treatment at the Badulla Teaching Hospital.
And meanwhile, the Road to Renaissance program, which aims to develop 1,000 rural roads island-wide, has got underway in Kandugoda South Village in Koskaba today. The program is being implemented as a special project of the Ministry of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation. 1.7 kilometers of the southern Pusala road in Kandugoda is scheduled to be developed with carpeting at a cost of 65 million rupees. A further 5 billion rupees is to be allocated during this year on the program in addition to the funds reserved through the budget for rural development. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka has presided over the inauguration ceremony. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka said that initially they will engage in reconstruction of 57 roads of similar nature. Altogether, 1,405 roads have been selected to be reconstructed under this project. He added that the President has pledged to provide a further 5 billion rupees for road rural development. Upgrading of the Ratmalal Railway housing project under the program Road to Renaissance has also commenced today under the guidance of Deputy Minister Janithrawan Kodituaku. The Road Development Authority is in charge of the road maintenance. Work on the development of Kumbuka Kotupasgode Road in Horana also got underway today. A sum of nearly 260 million rupees has been allocated to develop with carpeting on 1 kilometer distance. The event was attended by a group including Kalutara District Parliamentarian Dr. Nihala Besingher. The Kudavas Kadua Samagipura Main Road in Kalutara is also developing with carpeting. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatisa has also presided over the opening ceremony. The program is to be completed at a cost of 21 million rupees. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jatisa said that people in Sri Lanka will be able to see a total different picture on the development of the country within the next 3.5 years. The progress would become extremely transparent. The minister added that public properties are coming heritage of the people and they have the right to inquire on the progress of these projects. Reconstruction with carpeting of the alternate road linking Rajangane Road in Thamuttegama with Ottapattua in Nochiagama also commenced today. The road, which has remained seriously dilapidated for a long period, will be repaired at a cost of 55 million rupees. Deputy Minister Dr. Susil Ranasinghe and a group were present at this occasion. Carpeting of a 1.4 kilometer distance of the road from Jumma Mosque Hatton to Gamini Puravara Hatton Depot also commenced today. A sum of 70 billion rupees will be spent on the first stage of the program. 14 rural roads in Batticaloa district will also be developed at a cost of 500 million rupees under the first stage of the program. Road reconstructions in the Banmurai North Divisional Secretariat Division in Batticaloa has begun today.
A special parliamentary meeting is scheduled to be conducted on the 30th of this month. A decision in regarding this has been taken at the Parliamentary Affairs Committee meeting held yesterday under the leadership of the Speaker Dr. Jagat Wickramaratne. The Speaker has been convened the meeting according to the request made by the Prime Minister under the Parliamentary Standing Order 16. According to the 11th clause in the State Financial Management Act, the government is required to announce a statement pertaining to financial strategy on or before the 30th of June. The Leader of the House, Minister Bima Ratnayaka, said that the government has to make a declaration on financial strategy. Such a procedure is expected to be conducted in the country for the first time. The state financial strategy should become compatible with the financial responsibility framework. The statement will have to be approved by the Cabinet of Ministers and to be declared by the Minister of Finance on or before the 30th of June in every year.
And meanwhile, the Sri Lanka police denied the viral social media reports claiming that individuals found guilty by driving under the influence of liquor will be fined 500,000 rupees. A false report is presently being circulated in social media in this regard. The police media division reiterates that the law will be implemented against those who propagate such rumours. According to the Motor Traffic Act of Sri Lanka, drunken driving is a punishable offence subjected to a fine of 25,000 rupees or suspension of the driver's licence.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said US involvement in Israel-Iran conflict would be very, very dangerous. Meanwhile, two Iranian drones penetrated Israel's air defenses and struck sites in the north and south, making one of the rare instances in which one-way attack drones from Iran successfully breached Israeli air defenses. Blasts have been heard in southern West Iran as IDF says it is targeting military infrastructure. In Iran, more than 400 people have been killed and 3,056 injured by Israel strikes since the conflict began on 13 June, a spokesman for Iran's health ministry said. Israel said 25 people have been killed by Iranian strikes and 2,517 injured since the conflict began. Israel's Air Force intercepted about 40 drones overnight, the military says, claiming a near-perfect shot-down rate since it's launched the attack on Iran. Earlier, Israel ministry said that they killed Iranian commander Saeed Isadi in a target attack overnight. The Israel Air Army says its forces are attacking military infrastructure in southern West Iran.
And in more local stories, the representatives of the Asian Development Bank has expressed their full support for the new educational reforms. The bank will continue to extend support for the teacher training, infrastructure facility development, digital technology development and other educational reforms. These remarks have been made during a discussion at the parliamentary premises between the Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya and Takafumio Kodano, ADB country director, and the Sri Lanka, along with the other ADB representatives. During the discussion, the Prime Minister explained the ADB representatives on the steps already taken for the new educational reforms and the implementation of the new reforms for the upcoming year within the school education, including the respective challenges involved. The Prime Minister elaborated on future plans of the development regarding the representation of the new curriculum, development of human resources in the educational sector, improvement of infrastructure and initiatives in general education, vocational training, higher education and early childhood development. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri has also met with the UN Residential Coordinator Mark Andre at the Parliamentary complex yesterday. Attention has been focused on this occasion on the future program of action regarding the projects extended by the UN Children's Fund. Discussions were also centered on the propagation and protection of human rights, health and administration financing, gender equality, women empowerment, restoration of education and economy, climatic changes, agriculture and fisheries. UN representatives said that they are prepared to extend the support of the UN Children's Fund on the government's future measures relating to the committee report of child harassments. The 2025 development report to be unveiled under the UNDP was presented to Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri recently. The report has been prepared under the basic theme Humans in the AI Era and Abilities. The report envisages of the correct procedures in implementation of artificial intelligence. A main objective of the Human Development Report is the application of AI for the social and economic development of a country. Minister Eranga Veeraratne and also the Sri Lankan representatives of the UNDP Azusa Kubota were also among those who have attended the event. And meanwhile, the BCC Institute is reported to be reaching success under the government's program to restructure and transform loss-making institutes into profitable ventures. Chairman of the BCC Centenary Perahara says that institute was able to report a record sales value within a very short period of time. The British Ceylon Corporation is a leading business establishment in the country, formed in the year 1918 through amalgamation of several companies by the Europeans engaged in coconut production since the year 1830. The BCC was acquired by the government in 1972 and turned into a public company under the common name BCC Lanka Private Limited in 1988. At present, the company is functioning as a government-owned established with full ownership under the Ministry of Industries and Entrepreneur Development. The BCC is currently released to the market 2 types of coconut oils, 5 types of soaps as well as disinfectants and detergents. The BCC was also totally shut down as a loss-making institute in 2006. Later on, production had resumed with a small number of employees. The BCC has embarked upon a new path from this year upon the government's concept of restructuring loss-making enterprise. The BCC, as a result of proper management procedure, had recorded the highest sales income in its history in February and March of this year. The BCC is committed to release the market consumer product in confirming the highest standards. The aim of BCC is to enhance supplies by expanding production throughout the island. Plans have been envisaged to develop industrial premises in Vattipalawala. The visa development duration Sri Lankan nationals engaged in employment Israel has been extended by 3 months by the Australian Institute of Immigration and Immigration. The Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau says that the decision has been taken due to the turbulent situation prevailing currently in Israel. Accordingly, several categories of visas of all foreigners, including Sri Lankan nationals staying in Israel under the Type B1 visa, which expires after the 12th of June, has been extended until the 30th of September. Around 20,000 expatriate Sri Lankans are engaged in services in Israel, and it has been also reported that the Sri Lankan embassy in Israel is continuously and constantly remain vigilant on the security of the Sri Lankan nationals throughout the instructions of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism. The government is readiness to bring back the Sri Lankan workers in the extent of infrastructure of the crisis. Measures are also underway to repatriate the Sri Lankan employees who had already applied to return to the motherland via another state. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau, Koshila Wickramasinghe, says that sending of the Sri Lankan workers to Israel has been temporarily suspended until the restoration of the situation. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau said that there had been a strong demand for jobs in Israel and a large group is willing to leave for Sri Lanka. And he added that, however, what is more important is the safety of the prospective employees. The Bureau has decided to temporarily suspend the recruitments and express hope that the situation would return to normal. With the restoration of the crisis, they would conduct talks with the FIBA Institute to make the sending workers to Israel again. Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism issuing a communique for Sri Lankan community in Iran that all the Sri Lankans are willing to leave Iran will be facilitated in their air travel through cooperation of the Indian government. Accordingly, any Sri Lankan nationals who desires to leave Iran could contact the Sri Lankan embassy in Iran through an emergency telephone number or the Indian embassy in Tehran. Stay tuned with more local stories after this break.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
The officials' launch of providing all service of the President's Fund through divisional secretariats across the island took place this morning at the Kilinochchi District Secretariat. Coinciding with the launch, a special training workshop for officials in the northern province was held at the same venue as a part of series of workshops aimed to decentralizing the President's Fund operation to grassroots level. Since February this year, applications for medical assistance from the President's Fund have been accepted through all divisional secretariats across the country. Following the successful implementation of the program, steps have now been taken to extend digital access to all other services offered by the fund. Accordingly, the public can now apply online for a range of services including poverty alleviation assistance, educational scholarship, recognition for academic excellence, support for individuals with special needs, aid for children affected by the human-elephant conflict, recognition for national and public service, and emergency or disaster relief. This marks the first time in the fund of 47 years history that services previously limited to Colombo are accessible via any divisional secretariat nationwide. Senior Additional Secretary to the President and Secretary of the President Fund Rohan Gamage briefed attendees on the fund responsibilities and range of services. As a part of the government's digitalization drive, the official rollout of online services of the President Fund also took place during the event. A program to recognize high-achieving students who excelled in the recent 2023-2024 GCE Advanced Level Examination at district level has been launched by the President's Fund. The inaugural ceremony will take place tomorrow in Kilinochchi under the patronage of Speaker Dr. Jagat Wickramaratne. As a part of the initiative, 60 outstanding students from each district demonstrating exceptional merit across all subject streams in the 2023-2024 GCE A-level examination will be selected to receive financial scholarships and certificates. The first phase of this province-based program will be held tomorrow in Kilinochchi. High achievers from the Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Mullaitivu, Mana and Vanya district who excelled in the 2023 GCE A-level examination will be honored at the event. The President Fund is currently making arrangements to recognize similar accomplished students in other districts in due course.
Politburo member of the Janata Vimukti Perabuna Sunil Hadurnetti says that had not been for the self-sacrifice of then Socialist Student Union, the people-oriented government of today would not have been established. He made these remarks participating in the National Student Hero Commemoration Day yesterday. The event organized by the Socialist Student Union was held at the Colombo Public Library Auditorium. The national organizer of the union, Rangana Devapriya, and the representative of many student associations also took part in this event. Politburo member of the Janata Vimukti Perabuna Sunil Hadurnetti said that all they have a responsibility which is bound by the comradeship into challenging the existing system. The involvement of the students in the struggle could take place during their student days in the universities or at the school. They could also join the program as a professor, as well as the important fact is the ability to hold any responsibility entrusted to them, and these responsibilities bestowed upon them by the history. They also had recalled the contributions made by the comrades like Venura and Trima Vitarna. In the past, they would have not been able to today for us if they had failed to their endeavors. They were the strength of the student campaign. If these heroic students remain in the homes after completing their degrees, the generations of J.R. Jayawardena would have ruled the country, if not people such as Namal and the Rajapaksha's generation or the son of Premadasa. He said that there would not leave room once again for the re-emergence of that era, and it was Comrade Anurakumar Dissanayake who was the first national organizer of the National Socialist Union in the 90th decade. He also added that the comrade had difficulty executed his responsibilities. And also the centenary inauguration ceremony of the historic Sri Dalanda Poson Perahara at the Atkanda Raja Mahavihara in Kurunegala was held this afternoon with the participation of President Anurakumar Dissanayake. At the ceremony, the President said that the Buddhist philosophy can restore the spiritual life to a society consumed by wealth and power. The annual Sri Dalanda Poson Perahara, which commenced in 1925, marked its 100th anniversary this year. The commemoration of this milestone, a special commemorative stamps and a replica of the original procession covered were unveiled. The event was also featured the launch of 2 scholarly publications focused on the Perahara and the debut performance of a dedicated procession song. President Dissanayake presented awards and certificates to students who excelled in various competitions held in parallel with the centenary celebrations. In his address, the President stressed that no society, regardless of its material progress, can thrive without spiritual and moral foundations. He noted that the nation's crucial and social development must be rooted in ethical and spiritually aware citizens. Highlighting the relevance of Buddhist Jataka stories and cultural traditions, the President remarked that these offer a valuable foundation for reviving spiritual life in a society increasingly consumed by the pursuit of wealth and power. He added that the Buddhism teaches rulers to govern with compassion and accountability, values that are unfortunately eroding in modern times. He called that collective efforts to restore these cultural roots and to foster a spiritually enriched society. Responding to critics, the President stated that despite claims that the current government would abandon such traditions, the day's celebrations clearly demonstrated its commitment to preserving and promoting Sri Lanka's cultural and spiritual heritage.
Students of 3 courses conducted by the national television have despaired after successfully completing their studies yesterday. The concluding ceremony was presided over the Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media consultant Dr. Anil Jasinghe. The course, with 6 months duration, are courses registered at the Treasury and Vocational Training Commission. The objective is to train professionals in the media communication field through presentations of news and other programs, training sessions on certified courses on camera and lighting technology, as well as dubbing. Awards and certificates were presented to course participants. They have been accorded to the opportunity to acquire knowledge on the new technology, propaganda mechanism, communication methodologies on related subjects during the 6 months training period. The most excellent students in the 3 course type were selected via conducting written and practical tests at the end of the training. A large gathering was present at the ceremony, including Chairman of the SLRC, Gihan De Silva, conducted at Studio 3 of the corporation. Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media consultant Dr. Anil Jasinghe said that it has become obvious that today in the social media that profession is being handled in haphazard manner. The so-called media personnel bring out unnecessary issues. He added that Chairman of the SLRC, Gihan De Silva, said that it was a group of contemporaries of those who had rendered significant commitments in the television industry given knowledge to the course participants today. He added that this is the difference of the quality of the certified courses conducted by the national television from other training institutions.
And meanwhile, a group of students from the Tambutegama Central College in Anuradhapura visited the Presidential Secretariat and President's House yesterday. After touring the old Parliament building within the Presidential Secretariat, the students were also briefed on the parliamentary history. The students had the opportunity to participate in the Vision Programme, an initiative for school children jointly organised by the Presidential Secretariat, the Ministry of Education and the Department of Communication of the Parliament in Sri Lanka. The colleagues, teaching staff of the students were also informed of the Clean Sri Lanka program, which operates under the concept by President Anura Kumara Dissanayake, as well as the role of the executive and the rule of law. During the visit, the legal advisor to the President J.M. Vijayabandara symbolically demonstrated the value of environmental protection and presenting a valuable spelling of the school. The event was attended by Senior Additional Secretary to the President K.N.M. Kumar Singh along with the other officials.
The first test of the current series between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh ended in a draw at the Galle International Cricket Stadium today.
And it was after 12 years that a match was concluded without a result at the Galle International Stadium. And Angelo Matthews, who was briefing the Sri Lankan team since the year 2009, bid farewell to Test cricket today. Angelo Matthews, after the match, said it's time for the younger players to take the battle. He added that he could not believe the love he received in the career and it was not an easy journey. He also praised Mushfiqur and Shanto and congratulated the Bangladeshis for the brilliant test match.
ආකාරය අපිට දැක ගන්නට හැකියාවක් ලැබෙන්නේ බංග්ලාදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයන් සියලුම දෙනා පිවිසිලා ඔහුට අතට දෙමින් සුබ පැතුම් එකතු කරනවා. මේ තමයි විශේෂත්වය. මේ තමයි මේ ක්‍රීඩාවේ සහෝදරත්වය. වගේම බංග්ලාදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයන්
And with that, we conclude tonight news. Do just tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita signing off with Situmi. Stay safe and good night.
Good night.